NXT this week was a cool little filler side quest episode with like hints of main story aspects in it. It was like a whole bunch of side quests with a hint of main quest storylines in there. It was funny to me. This episode, it wasn't anything crazy, anything too mind-blowing, anything too shocking, but it was definitely a solid episode. We got some new storylines being advanced. We got some new number one contenders, which was the main story elements. But besides that, though, the rest was mainly just fun matches, cool, unique stuff. We got to see Zack Ryder, aka Matt Cardona, in the ring, which was really awesome. We saw the Hardy Boys on this show, and we saw a whole bunch of other new, fresh faces, old faces, nostalgia faces, and the main event involving that 20-woman battle royal, which was really cool. So this show, like I said, it was a filler episode, yes. It had a lot of side quest elements with a hint of main quest stuff here and there. So it wasn't really like one of those filler episodes where you could skip. It's like one of those filler episodes where it kind of impacts the rest of the show because stuff still mattered. So that's what I found enjoyable about it, at least, because there was still stakes and there was still stuff that mattered. There was still aspects that you couldn't miss, because if you missed this episode, you would know who was the number one contender. You didn't know who won the women's battle royal. You didn't know who was the men's number one contender. Stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. And this show was a pre-recorded show, so it happened not the day it was released. It happened before. So that was that. There was a little bit energy missing from that. But besides that, though, it was a solid episode overall. Like I said, not much to complain about. But besides that, though, this won't be a long video by any means. It's a really quick review because there's not really too much to talk about. So we're just going to jump right into it and talk about what we saw on this show. But before I get into all that, let's talk about the quote of the day, as always. Quote of the day: life doesn't always need a plan. Sometimes it just needs snacks, good people, and a reminder that not everything has to make sense to be beautiful. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Matthew chapter 6, verse 34. That is your quote of the day. Now let's get into this review. Let's talk about this show. Let's talk about this episode. Let's get right into it. So on this week's episode of NXT, we kicked off with a Ricky Saints and Trick Williams in-ring promo. And Ricky Saints was the only one who was in the ring. Ricky Saints was the only one who was cutting a promo in front of an audience. Trick Williams, however, was in the back on the Titantron, and that's where he was hiding, like the real man he is. Yeah. But anyhow, though, we got a Ricky Saints and Trick Williams in-ring promo. Ricky Saints basically came out and he was irate. He was angry about Trick Williams deserting him last week in that TNA versus NXT men's match. He was fuming. Ricky Saints came out and he said, last week I proved two things. Number one, even with my back against the wall, I will still fight like hell for me and all of you. Number two, when the going gets tough and when the pressure is on, Trick Williams will fold like origami. He will fold like laundry. Trick Williams, you think you're above it all. You're crazy. You're delusional and you're stupid. I'm calling you out at Halloween Havoc for this NXT Championship. So if you're man enough, face me at Halloween Havoc. After that, Trick Williams ended up coming up on the Titantron responding to Ricky Saints. He didn't feel like coming out tonight. He wasn't man enough to face Ricky Saints one-on-one, face-to-face. So he came on the Titantron, talking his mess, talking his stuff. And basically what Trick Williams said was, I am the spotlight and you can't stand it. I'm doing everything better than you. You're trying to walk in my footsteps. You're trying to walk in my shoes. But the shoes damn sure don't fit. You want a match against me at Halloween Havoc? Fine, but we'll do it on my time. And that was basically the whole promo. Trick Williams told Ricky Saints that this match, if he wants it to happen, it will happen on Trick Williams' time, not Ricky Saints' time. And that was your opener. After this, we got into our first match of the night. And it was Mr. Negative Aura himself, Josh Briggs, versus Matt Cardona, FKA, formerly known as Zack Ryder. And when Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona came out, the crowd absolutely lost their minds. They lost their minds during his entrance, and they were so excited. They were so hyped, and you could see it on Zack Ryder's face, Matt Cardona's face, excuse me. You could see it on his face. He was drinking in the moment. It was so cool. It was such a cool moment. Seeing him come out and the crowd receiving him how they did, it was so cool seeing. And let me just say, it has been well over a decade since I've seen Matt Cardona wrestle in the WWE ring. So this was such a unique moment. This was such a cool match for me. I can still hear his old entrance song, if I'm being honest with you. Like, it was a banger back in the day. Woo, woo, woo. I'm not even going to sing the rest, okay? Not because I don't want to, because I can't. But anyhow, though, like I said, I can still hear his old entrance song, and it was such a blast from the past, honestly, seeing him back in the WWE ring. I know he's been wrestling, but seeing him in WWE specifically was just unique to me. But it was really cool, really fun seeing Matt Cardona's moveset again, seeing his energy, seeing his charisma in the ring. It was really fun. I really did like this match. I liked his in-ring presence and everything. We saw both heavy-hitting moves and high-flying moves from Matt Cardona, which was really cool. We saw his moveset reintroduced to us again, his improvements in the ring, his changes that he's made throughout the years. So it was really cool. He was even hitting some of Chelsea Green's moves. He was hitting the Unpretty Her on Josh Briggs, which was really funny, which was really cool because we saw an episode, I think a few months ago, where Chelsea Green was hitting the Rough Rider on people, so it was really cool. It was a real nice throwback and a real nice connection. But besides that, though, at the end of the match, to my surprise and my absolute disbelief, Josh Briggs was able to hit a big boot on Matt Cardona for the win, and I was shocked. I did not think Josh Briggs was going to pick up the win at all. He is bigger, he is stronger technically, but man, I didn't see him beating Matt Cardona at all. But it was really cool. I'm almost positive that it was Matt Cardona's idea to get him over, to put him over, so that was probably that. But anyhow, though, after that, we got on to our second match of the night, and it was El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. versus Lexis King. And this match, I'll be honest with you, it was alright. It wasn't anything crazy. Lexis King was grounded for most of this match. El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. was the one doing the high-flying moves, but Lexis couldn't really reciprocate it, so it was kind of like a one-sided ordeal. But besides that, though, the match was alright. It was nothing crazy, like I said. We saw a few cool spots from Dr. Wagner Jr., but besides that, though, there's not really much else to say. At the end of the match, to no one's surprise, Dr. Wagner Jr. was able to pin and defeat Lexis King. And after that, we got a little altercation between him and Ethan Page. Dr. Wagner Jr. was cutting a promo against Ethan Page, and Ethan Page came out to respond. And this basically set up a match. At Halloween Havoc, we'll get a match where Dr. Wagner Jr., El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. will be facing off against Ethan Page. After this, we got two cool backstage segments. It happened at different times, but I'm just gonna put it in together here so we just get it out of the way. But we saw two fun backstage segments. The first one was a backstage segment involving Dark State ambushing the Hardy Boys and absolutely destroying them. They left them laid out. They were fuming that they lost their NXT championships. They're like, we're coming back for it. Keep it hot for us, okay? Because this isn't gonna last long. We're coming for our championships. But besides that, though, the second backstage segment we got was where Trick Williams absolutely blindsided and snuck attacked Ricky Saints. He left Ricky Saints discombobulated, confused, kerfluffled, and I don't even know what other words he left them, but he left them dazed, okay? He left them dazed. And that was the two backstage segments we got, the two little fun backstage segments that we got. After that, though, we got on to our third match of the night, and it was Zarya versus Blake Monroe. And this match, it was a pretty solid match. Both Blake Monroe and Zarya brought the fight. They did their thing. They showed up and showed out to the best of their abilities. Things did get ugly in the end, however, not in a bad way, in a good way. Because to win the match, Blake Monroe had to cheat. So Ruka came out to even the odds because Blake Monroe was cheating throughout the whole match. He was doing heelish tactics. So Ruka came out to try to even the odds. And while Ruka was out trying to defend her buddy, trying to defend her friend, her teammate, Blake Monroe used the opportunity to take this hair thing out of her hair, and she stabbed, striked, and poked Zarya in the throat with a hair clip, a hairpin, and it was a short one, like multiple tooth hair comb pick thing. I don't even know what it's called, okay? But all I know is that could not have felt good, okay? But Blake Monroe ended up having to cheat using a hairpin, hair comb, hair holder thing to stab and strike Zarya in the throat, and that's how she picked up the win. And we got a final shot of Zarya looking absolutely disappointed and disheartened in the ring while Blake Monroe was celebrating and exiting the ring. So that was that. After this, we got to our fourth match of the night, and the fourth match of the night was Chase University versus Hank and Tang versus The Calling, and it was a tag team triple threat number one contenders match. And this match was really fun while it lasted. It didn't last long, but the little minutes it lasted, it was really fun. It was just fast-paced, non-stop action from all three teams from start to finish, and the sequences, the high-flying moves, the heavy-hitting moves were all fun to watch. It was nothing slow, nothing sluggish, nothing that took too long. They were just all over the ring, all over the arena, just putting on the show. All three of these teams. And this match was fun to watch while it lasted, like I said. But sadly and disappointingly enough, this match was cut short in the end due to a no contest finish due to interference from a returning team known as OTM. And they came out, they jumped and beat up everyone. I don't even know how, okay, because it was like three teams against one. So let's not get into the antics, but they came out and they absolutely obliterated every team. They left them laid out and they were talking about we're back and we're coming for all the gold. We're coming for everything. This is our brand. This is our company and we're coming back for it all. And that was basically that. And after that, we got on to our main event, our fifth and final match of the night. And it was a 20-woman Battle Royal match. And this was an NXT's Women's Championship number one contender match. Before the match started, though, we got a little cool backstage segment where Sol Ruka was talking to Zarya, and she decided to sacrifice and gift Zarya her Battle Royal position. And she was like, you know what? I already have enough championships. I feel like it would be a good thing for you to get one yourself. And Blake Monroe was right about what she said about me. I was being selfish, and I think you deserve this opportunity, so I'm going to give it to you. Go out there, win this Royal Rumble, win this Battle Royal, and become the women's number one contender and take that championship. You deserve it. And she decided to sacrifice and give Zarya her Battle Royal position, which was really nice. But anyhow, though, throughout this match, though, the match itself, we saw a lot of fun faces, new faces, old faces, nostalgia faces, just throwbacks. It was really fun seeing everybody in the match. And I did remember a lot of the faces we saw because I was like, oh no, they're still still here? I'm like, I didn't think I'd ever see you in a WWE ring again. So it was really fun. We saw people like Victoria Crawford, aka Alicia Fox, for the ODs who know her as Alicia Fox. We saw the Iconics back. They're known as the Inspiration now. We saw Xia Li, I'm pretty sure. We saw Jakari Jackson, aka Marashade. We saw Kelly Armstrong from Evolved, Kendall Gray from Evolved, and we saw a few other neat, surprising faces, which was really fun to see. Most of them were a blast from the past, especially seeing Alicia Fox. I was like, I know this person, and it was really fun, okay? But anyhow, that's enough of me marking out. Besides that, though, the match itself, it was a pretty standard battle royal, pretty standard match, nothing crazy. Just throw your competitor over the ropes and eliminate them and be the last woman, last man standing. The same concept, the same battle royal, the same standard stuff you know of and that I know of. So it was nothing crazy, nothing too mind-blowing, nothing too out of the ordinary or out of the blue. Nothing too crazy really happened. Near the end of the match, though, the last 5 women were Kalani Jordan, Jordani Grace, Tatum Paxley, and Kendall Gray, as well as Izzy Dame. JAG, the Muscle Muffin Jordani Grace, ended up throwing out Kalani Jordan. Izzy Dame ended up eliminating Kendall Gray. Izzy Dame at the very, very end, accidentally, when it was down to 3 women, Izzy Dame, Tatum Paxley, and Jordani Grace, Izzy Dame accidentally eliminated both Jordani Grace and herself from the match, which left only one woman standing in the ring, the winner, Tatum Paxley. And Tatum Paxley is your new #1 women's contender for the women's NXT championship, which was an awesome moment. We got her celebrating. She was so ecstatic, and I was so happy for her. And we saw Lyra Valkyrie coming out to celebrate with her friend, and they were just jumping and screaming all over the ring. It was such a fun moment. But the ending, though, it was funny because it ended a bit iffy and it kind of looked unplanned. So I was like, is that how it's supposed to end? But I think that's how it's supposed to end, with Tatum Paxley being the last person in the ring. It looked cool, though, because you didn't really know if that's how it was supposed to happen or if it was an accident, if both women were actually supposed to be eliminated, if it was supposed to come down to one-on-one. But all those questions are still in the air, but it made for an even better ending, in my opinion. But that was your whole show. We ended off with Tatum Paxley celebrating in the ring, Izzy Dame looking mad and irate and honestly a bit jealous of Tatum Paxley. So that was that. And that was your whole show. That was your last shot that we got. And overall, I would rate NXT a cool, solid little 6.5 out of 10. There was definitely a few enjoyable matches and segments on this show, but nothing crazy. Like I said, it was a pre-recorded episode, so it was a lot of side quests with hints of main quest aspects sprinkled in there, and that was your whole show. That was what this show was. It was cool, it was solid. We still had things that mattered, things that were impactful, storyline advancements, which is what I really enjoyed about it overall, because we got funny stuff, we got goofy stuff, non-serious stuff, but we also did get serious stuff. So that was what made the show even better for me. But anyhow, though, like I said, I would rate it a solid 6.5 out of 10. It was a solid show for what it was, for what we got. That was your NXT this week. That was your breakdown. That was your review. And that was my thoughts and opinions. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for hearing me out. And thank you for being here. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to. And like, comment, and subscribe if you choose to. As always, it's been a pleasure. I'm out.